Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another brilliant day of Overwatch League here live from Los Angeles, the Blizzard Arena. Hex, we're here.
Yeah, we are. I haven't really seen you yet today. You're in a great mood. Just cheered me right up.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this?
I'm just moving, listening to Rockefeller Street, just getting in the groove, man.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. We got some good matches today, and here you see our Stage 1 standings. Matches still going to matter for a lot of the teams that are playing today, aside from the Valiant, who have been eliminated from Stage 1, just to rub that into our hometown audience. However, they play the Outlaws, who still have an outside shot of making the Stage 1 playoffs. The Valiant would love to pick up a win to not go 0 for the stage.
Oh, buddy, exactly right. That's pain. That's pain, Hex. They've already out of the stage, but now you don't want to go 0-7. It's not quite a secret agent, but it's getting close.
But Houston has played really close to all the teams they lost to, except for NYXL. But you know how I just throw those out anyway, like it's the best team. Played close to Boston, plays close to Defiant, who are both solid teams. And this man, Jake, is a big reason why.
Yeah, I mean, key to the communication on this roster, apparently from what we've heard, he is the man who is getting all of the troops on the Houston Outlaws rallied up and working together as one killer unit. But then it's a question of which Jake shows up today, Hex. Which Jake shows up? Is he the Jake that's in my kind of mood, right? All preppy and ready to go? Or the Jake who's morose and, not quite feeling it?
Squashing invisible bugs on the desk. Hey, I like that passion. You got to bring it. And I think his shot calling is so important for this team. I mean, on Brigida, you don't have a ton of responsibility to work out, so he's calling rotations, and they've been really good when he's in there.
Yeah, you just got to hit stuns.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then flails.
Stuns, well, flails is tough.
Charges.
Yes.
And, a whole number of things. Brigida, a complicated character.
It's pretty much hold WM1.
There you go.
Just walk forward, keep flailing, keep healing.
According to Hex, that's how you play Brigida, for everybody wondering. We're going to go ahead and bring our first team out onto the stage, and it is the Los Angeles Valiant.
Leading the charge for this team. They're not really switching things up on the roster. It's been the same stuff you've seen from them for the last bunch of weeks. But I mentioned, it's not all doom and gloom for the Valiant. They've been so close to pulling off some of these matches, a little bit of bad luck here and there. They can clean it up just a little bit. They're really close to picking up their first stage win.
Yeah, going to 5 and not quite able to clinch it. This team is trying to find itself. Hex is trying to figure it out. There are other players on the roster, but they have selected these as their starting 6. We're starting to get used to this lineup. Now it's a question of whether or not they can gel.
I mean, I kind of agree with keeping this lineup in there because I said they've been so close. It's just a mistake here, a mistake there. It's things that you can clean up through communication, and they can start picking up wins. I think today is actually a very winnable matchup for them.
So, Hex, they have an opponent.
Do they?
They do. They must get a win against this opponent. This opponent is going to be the Houston Outlaws. Proper epic music for a proper epic team.
The two leading the pack, Dante and Linkser, have been so important to this team when it comes to team fight wins. Dante, when he hits EMP, he helps the team win a greater percentage of their fights. But as we open up on Control, I'm glad to see Linkser in, because every time he opens up a fight with a headshot, all 6 times, they win those team fights.
It's almost as if Widow was a key hero, or could be in the right hands. That man is capable. On your screen, you see him, cheeky grin. He knows what he's about.
Yeah,
monster inside Hex.
I like to see this lineup coming out first. You got Jake with a shot calling, Linkser pure mechanical skill. Dante is the X factor they assigned him to be on this squad. So really nice to see them rolling out on this as we, always kick it off here in the Overwatch League on control maps. I think this is their best control map lineup.
Exactly. Individual skill, they've got it in oodles. Oodles of it. They've got oodles of individual skill and talent on this team, and while Control can get a bit chaotic at times, allows you to shine as the lone star.
Raucus with the dark hair timeline right there. New look, looking good, Raucus. Pretty boy Jake on the screen. There's Muma as well. This one of the most solid standout members of the of the Outlaws lineup, not the Linkser lineup. There's Linkser, threw me off right there. And Dante, as I mentioned. So I really like this lineup. They're pretty good on control, so taking first map here going to be very important.
On the other side here, Agility's looking sober, Fate, focused. Let's just keep it down the line. Yep, Izayaki, attentive. He's listening to his teammates. That's good.
Well, they need to focus up because they're 1-8 on control so far this season. It's not been great. Space, I mentioned last time we cast him, we've been casting a lot of Valiant lately, that if they just let Space do his own thing and play in creative style, I think it gets a little bit better because they have not been great at doing the combination kind of plays.
Well, let's go ahead and get into the map set of the day to kick things off, presented by Toyota. It is going to be Busan as our control map in this first map of the series. So Busan lends itself to a variety of strategies. Despite saying that, we still see a whole lot of 3-3 on this map. But then, hey, maybe you get a Winston instead of a Ryan, and maybe you get a Hammond rolling out.
Yeah, but this is the stage that everybody loves because it's mecha-based, and you can play Widowmaker, you can play a bunch of interesting things on it. And I hope they run out with this. This is the Houston Outlaws I want to see on control. Lynx are on Widow, Dante, Tracer, Muma on the Hammond, got Jake rocking the Sombra, so a clash of styles to open it up.
Oh, please do. Yes, here we go. There it is. The headshot wasn't fully in, though. Not quite able to get the kill. And Lynxer trying to watch his back line here as a Widow. That's interestingly enough. But Kariv is going to find the kill on Jake, and that's a disaster. Losing your Sombra this early in the fight, it's all about getting that EMP charge. And really, if you mess up and die as a Sombra, a rough start here for Jake in this first map.
Yeah, they brought in Dante to be their Sombra expert, but he's also their Tracer player, and he can't play both at the same time. Muma gets very low, anti-healed and cleaned up. Does seem to be that the Valiant should be able to take first point here.
Nice shots, look at that. He's actually connecting with the shots to make sure that his teammates get topped up. And it will be the Valiant with a strong start here at least. Already though, I say that, and somehow in the blink of an eye, we've got 2 kills in the favor of the Outlaws. That's gonna set him up. Muma pounces on the point, trying to cap it quick, and Lynxer right now needs to connect with heads. Oh man.
Jake got the opening kill onto the Winston, which means that Lynxer's going to be much more comfortable. Winston's a great anti-Widow player, able to jump on him on the high ground, and those shots do snowball into the Houston Outlaws, taking control back.
Just getting a little, shaking off the rust. He doesn't get to play Widow every day now. It takes a little bit of time to get adjusted. Wait, I have to aim again? Yes, Lynxer, you have to aim again.
It's important. Dante's holding on to Pulse Bomb, which can still be good. He wants to get into the back line. Pulse Bomb used to delete tanks, but his power level has been taken down a notch, so you want to get to the back line, probably try to stick Izayaki, even though it's a hard target. Just got a strange posture, a strange hitbox, but that's the ideal target for this Pulse Bomb.
Ooh, Dante with the flag, and it gets eaten! T-Matrix is there, the Pulse Bomb gets nothing out of it. So we'll see, Dante has to redeem himself. Muma gonna be rolling out of the action, and in the meantime, it's still Los Angeles Valiant sticking together as a killer unit.
Still rolling in. Winston gets segregated again. Self-destruct and come and try to buy some space and clear it out for him. Mines do go down on the field, and now the fight moves towards the point.
Solid Mines too, dealing a significant amount of damage. There it is, the kill onto Kuki. Gonna lay him out. 53% and counting right now for the Houston Outlaws. This is all about just extending that lead.
Yeah, there's a primal rage and desperation down there from Fate. He's trying to clear out some space. Speaking of space, he's able to take out Boink. Lynxer's back in the mix. This one is scrappy as all get out. But Lynxer cleaning up his second headshot on Kuki.
Oh man, there we go. This is the difference, the impact that Lynxer can have. Player of his caliber. It's a joy to watch. And already off to a good start here on the Outlaw side. Despite a rocky, beginning to the point, now they're starting to stabilize, and it's looking like they're starting to hit their stride. We already have another Pulse Bomb up online, and Dante's waiting on high. Probably just gonna try and lob it down into the group if he can find the opening. He spots the back line, goes for the stick and gets it. Izayaki's out.
That's exactly what you need. They're playing around Lynxer as well. Everyone's there to support him when the dive does come in. Meanwhile, during all of this, the Valiant have taken back control of the point, but it's all for naught. It all matters about this next fight. Jake has EMP. He's falling very low, though. He's got to get some health back before he goes in.
Get out! Get out! That's the last thing you want to be running up against if you're Dante right now. But he's gonna get sound barriered, makes him a bit tougher to kill. Muma gets overwhelmed in the meantime, however. And Kariv, with the help of Agilities, is going to find a kill of his own. So 91% here for the Outlaws.
It's fine. They're just gonna regroup here. As long as they didn't use EMP, they're in good condition going towards the next fight. At 91%, you've set yourself up to only win one fight and take the first stage. So in a good spot. They do have defensive ultimates, though. Kuki not getting EMP'd is really important here.
That's the name of the game. You need that sound barrier for this next fight. That will be the key. We do have the Nano, and Nano is used immediately. No hesitation there on the side of Izayaki. He wants to get that out and play and see if that's going to lead to a kill here. We do eventually find a kill on Lynxer, but that's traded 1-for-1. So it's a 5-on-5 fight right now. Pulse attempt is going to come through, and it does work out. Dante still looking for more, though. And Fate just being very patient with the Primal.
There's no need to use it just now. He's getting a little bit of healing. Houston has not put a significant amount of pressure on the point. This is a pick composition. You got to get those early kills. So far, not going to happen. And now we're down to the last fight. They did have to use Primal to stay alive in that one. Still holding the EMP. They've got EMP. They could nano either Muma or Dante to get into it. Kuki's still holding on his Sombra. Is still the most important ultimate incoming.
Well, Dante's in position to contest on the point right now. Jake is there as well. So we will get a presence here. And Houston Outlaws, despite losing 2, may succeed in flipping, and they do. There's the flip, and now they can start playing the contest game. Jake, nice hack there, gonna be able to spot him out. Does manage to get out in just the nick of time. 6 HP left on him.
Skin of his teeth, still in control of the points, and now they're gonna get full force. They've done a great job of stall. The EMP comes out, hits 5.
Oh, that's a big one. This is gonna be so tough now for the Valiant. They are doing a great job of surviving. Space gets DMX, but they get a kill on Jake, and we lose Linkser as well as Raucus for the Houston Outlaws. Despite the monster EMP, the Valiant just cleaning house.
They lived long enough to let Kuki get his sound barrier off, and now everybody in very good shape health-wise. Valiant will clean up the remainder of that point. They played a classic style on Mecha Base, and it was too much for Houston to handle.
Classic according to the meta. And a tough break there for Houston, trying to change things up. I admire it. I like it. Just didn't work out this time. Shake it off and get into the next point.
Yeah, and you have to question when your Tracer Specialist and your Sombra Specialist is the same person.
Yeah.
And Dante, maybe Sombra's more important there. Because Jake only used 1 EMP that entire round.
Really?
That's not great.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's really tough. Especially considering they both went to plus 90%. That's a long time to be holding on to an EMP. So Jake needs to get into it. He needs to find some confidence here. Start trying to make these plays because he is getting shut down just a tad. 5 deaths on Sombra is a bit much.
Look, that's bad.
I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice.
There's no room for niceness when you have 5 deaths on Sombra. She can translocate, she can get out. He was just playing a little too aggressive. But that's the problem. You have Jake trying to play all sorts of heroes, and you don't really get to specialize on.
Well, you can see the steady climb towards the boost here on Izayaki. Sticking to the Ana. I admire that. And Kareev getting chunked, has to be careful, but we get a Linkser put to sleep, and Linkser gets pounced on. Dante is trying to trade it back, but 3 quick kills coming in for the Valiant means that this first point is going to go their way.
I love that they slept him, then just put him in the Thunderdome and waited for the rest of the team to try to respond. Maybe they can get someone else out of position. They knew it was a guaranteed kill. Very nice first take here for the Valiant, showing new signs of life.
Bubbles not quite getting the energy here for Kareev. He's not going to be too pleased about that. Needs to get that energy up so he can start dealing the damage. A nice hack onto Agilities makes him vulnerable. And they do manage to find the kills here, Houston Outlaws. Very quick flip of the point. There it is. Nice job, Linkser. And it will be Houston flipping it. 20% for the Valiant. Now it's on the Houston Outlaws to hold.
Muma's doing a great job on this Hammond. Hammond and Widowmaker are complementary heroes because he's going to be able to scatter people around and put them in bad position. And then when you get the pile driver, they go straight up in the air. It's as easy as any shot for a Widow.
It should be.
Now they got sights now, so now it's going to be the Valiant hesitant to move out. Especially without a Reinhardt, you can't really move out into a Widowmaker site. So that's just going to buy them a ton of time.
Yeah, free percentage being gained here. Leaping Monkey. And while as far as Valiant are concerned, they're looking for their way through. Dante's monitoring them on the side, though. He's just waiting for them to step out so he can get the big pulse. Exactly right. Good positioning so far from Space, though. Going to make that a little bit difficult. But there's the hack. Big EMP stick follow-up, and there's the kill. Kareev is out. Looking for the follow-up here as well for the Houston Outlaws as Dante trying to collapse on him. Not quite going to get it.
Oh, slept Winston in the back line, and he's nanoed too. What a beautiful play from Raucus to completely negate that. And now Winston's hacked back there. He will take Jake with him, but they do clean it up eventually. So you're nanoing your Winston, he gets slept. Feels bad.
Yeah, it feels bad, man. That's tough.
Speaking of sleeping, Muma goes to sleep, wakes up to a terrible alarm clock and a sound destruct. Send him right back to spawn. A small window for the Valiant to be able to push back in here.
And they are going to be pushing back now, sticking together as 6. Fate will go for a bit of a leap, spotting out the back line. Does drop his bubble as well, so he will be protected at least for the moment. And he's got Primal as well. Dante not going to find a stick, and he's going to get deleted. Stunned from behind, didn't even see it coming, but there it is, exactly. Case in point, Hex, you mentioned it. The knock up into the sky, and Linkser's able to take advantage. Kill on Kuki is going to make things a little bit more difficult here for the Valiant.
They're committed. They just EMP'd into here too. Fate is getting very low. He has been hacked and EMP'd so much this game.
Oh, come on, you need to get that shot.
All the way back here. This has been great play from them.
They're not giving up. Agilities has switched over to the Hammond as well just to get onto this point, but Fate is going to get focused down by Jake. And the pressure right now being put out by the Houston Outlaws, it doesn't look like the Valiant are able to hang in here. They are going to lose this point, and it will be a tied situation, 1-1. Izayaki might buy some time here with the Tracer, could go for the last second, but he's going to get hacked and denied in the end. So 1-1 now. We're going to go the distance on the first map.
And Jake only died once that round. A vast improvement over his first round. Nice play from both sides, but I'm just really thrilled we get to see Linkser back on his signature hero. 11 final blows for that Widowmaker. It's what she excels at.
I'm curious to see if we're going to see a change in strategy here coming through for the Houston Outlaws now onto the final point. Oh, I missed it. What were they laughing about, Hex?
Oh, I don't know.
Jake, taking a drink.
I look at the top down. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I'm like looking at this, and all of a sudden people are chuckling, and I'm like, oh no, I missed the joke.
Whenever I hear people laughing that I miss, I'm just like, it must be laughing at me. So I've taught myself to tune it out.
It's looking like we're going to get a return to the standard, but this could be interesting because now Dante gets to shine on the Sombra. So as far as Houston are concerned, Linkser's back onto the Zarya, or he's on the Zarya. We're going to have a bit more of that variation coming through here on the Houston Outlaw side of variation of the Big Beef.
And Dante, this is one of the reasons they brought him in. They are so much better when he gets EMP off in team fights. He raises their team fight win percentage during EMP by 22% more.
Yeah, no, he's a monster. So glad to see him there. He's got a little bit of armor as well, bit of the help, and he's going to be just harassing the back line as the Valiant try and push forward. Kuki just got bludgeoned. He's going to get hacked as well. Can they get the kill on him? That would be a big one to kick things off here for the Outlaws. But he succeeds so far in evading death. Not everybody gets to say that.
Very charged up right now, but Fate is the first to fall. It's a big zone denial hero now out of the mix, and I'd imagine Houston's going to rotate onto the point. They do just that. Wonder if Fate's going to come back. Yeah, onto Reinhardt. He's going to try to match the Rein with his own Rein. Very difficult to have a Winston into the Rein composition, especially Winston's a little more reliant on abilities to jump in and jump out. He's been getting hacked all day.
Oh, Dante waiting for the translocate. He is going to be able to get out of harm's way. EMP, though, that's a monster. Hacks everybody on the side of the Valiant, and they are going to get overwhelmed in this fight. Nothing but, what, lime green in the kill feed.
Yeah, nice cleanup there. That is exactly how you win fights with the Sombra. EMP, no one can use any abilities, and these tank-heavy, support-heavy compositions, extremely reliant on abilities. A really nice late stagger kill onto space is going to buy them even more time. 35% and counting up for Houston in the first map here.
Looking solid so far on the Houston side of things. And Dante working his way up to another EMP already at 30%. On the other side of things, Valiant. Couple of ults online. I mean, they have the grab self-destruct combo, so they could try and get that off. Kareev just needs to throw it out there. Yep, there's nothing to stop it and turn up. They're going to use everything here. Self-destruct goes up. Buma had the shield. Is able to survive just a while longer. Izayaki's still just pummeling them, though, and the kills are coming through here for the Valiant. Using the two big playmaking ults.
Pummels him, and he's still able to hold on to Transcendence.
Yeah.
It's so important going forward into the next fight. Kuki's also going to have Sound Barrier, so the support ultimate's definitely in favor of the Valiant, which is a little surprising because thus far, the supports of the Valiant have died an incredible amount of time. 6 for Izayaki, 8 for Kuki.
Yeah, Kuki keeping up the trend. But we are going to have them rally through here now and immediately lose Jake. Jake out in the open. Gets picked immediately. That was probably the stun into just, you know, great focus fire. And Izayaki hunts down Raucus as well at range.
That's the cleanup, got the initial volley, just one more orb in onto it. And that's what I want to see from the Valiant. The rallies have been kind of...
hit or miss?
Yes, I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't know what you were talking about the other day. However, that's a good rally. Everyone was decisive. They smash the rally, then they go in after kills, and they actually want a team fight off of it. Because if Houston disengages, they still end up winning that fight.
Whoa. Where did that come from? Pick onto Raucus. And that's going to slow things down here for the Houston Outlaws. Lynx are getting caught out in the open. No energy for him. He's going to die.
Sombra's over there too, but I think she's on top of the building. Yeah. So
they figured it out, though.
Going to jump it. Yep. They've had a really strong forward hold here. Have the Valiant. They've nearly tied up the percentage points. Wonder if this stage wins the map, and it's going to be a big momentum swing for either side.
Yeah, Dante, though, he's got the EMP exactly. So now there's a win condition here, a big one for the Outlaws. Dante's so sneaky.
Space is looking for it.
Looking for it. There it is. EMP follow-up, but the supports were hiding, and he's not going to be able to get that clean kill. 3 hacked, but not the important ones on the Valiant side, with the supports unhacked, or at least able to use their abilities. It's going to be hard for the Outlaws to find the kills, and that, frankly, perhaps was not the best combo there for the Outlaws.
The economy has been in great shape for the Valiant so far. They're going to force out Transcendences over here, but Izayaki continues his reign of terror. He's running away from Jake on the Brigida, but it is all Valiants in the left side, and they're looking to get their second win on control of the season.
Yeah, this is big. Valiant now winning hands down. If they could hunt down Dante, that would be big. It wouldn't allow him to contest on the point. Flip is through, and they are going to be able to get it 93% and counting. This is going to be just barely enough time, I think, for them to get in and touch this point. If they can find Dante,
they're going to have to rally. They might get grabbed, and they're going to have to rally in the grab and just hope that they can live through it with the sustain.
There's the grab. Rally's used. Pinned against the wall, but there's the trade. Dante out of the fight. We will have a kill for Linkser, however. Fate gets overwhelmed, and we will have the flip. 81% and counting now for Houston Outlaws. A chance there for the Valiant, but it doesn't play out.
Rally was used, but it's one of those things that you need full value out of it. It's got to run its course for you to stay and get the sustain. And Agility's got killed immediately during that rally. They're forced to use Transcendence just to stay alive. Last scrap onto the point is Yaki. It's a monster.
Once again, and he's hacked no less. The grab goes through. Muma stuck out on his own. He is getting topped up. Linkser's in the mix as well on the Hammond. Could perhaps knock him out as the EMP goes off. A big EMP at that. All the hacks and the stuns. Couple of big kills here for the Outlaws with Fate out of it. No big shields here for the Valiant to hide behind, and they're at risk of getting picked off one after the other.
This one's just about over. It is only Kareem trying to get his own personal barrier. Walks off the point. Houston Outlaws will take map number 1.
A painful loss for the Valiant. To start off the series, you can see the hype on the side of Houston. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we'll have map 2 of this series.
All right, we got this. They're going to stay playing that comp because they're confident on it, but I'm going to get a better EMP this time.
Okay.
Sweet.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. Well, Dante's going to be taking a break this next map, Hex, but he certainly has not on Sombra. He is looking beast in terms of team fight win rate increase when he's on the map.
Yeah, it's very logical that you win more team fights when you get EMP, but the amount of team fights they win more than the rest of the league when they get EMP is just amazing. So I think that going forward, you find ways to shoehorn him into compositions. Maybe even if you don't think it's right for the map. It's very obvious when Dante hits EMP, you win fights. Hey, when you win fights, you end up winning maps. And that's, I think, their focus should be going forward.
Winning.
Yes, winning.
Fancy that. You shocked me.
play to win the game.
You caught me off guard here, Hex. I didn't realize that was what we were all about here. Getting the W's. And well, you know, Houston Outlaws are off to a strong start, as you guys can see on your screen. In the lead now. First map in the bag. Valiant, another painful loss for them. They keep coming so close, Hex, and they can't quite get it together. I thought they had that last map won.
It's got to wear on you at some point. And then like that wearing on you becomes more pressure of like, oh God, it's map. Oh, God, we're just one fight away. And then you see them start making minor mistakes, and it kind of all compounds itself. Subs for the Houston Outlaws coming in. Spree will be coming in for Linkser. Very likely to play a Zarya.
And then your favorite player.
Cool Matt. He's the coolest of all Matts. He used to have a number after his name in the old school version. Now it's his jersey number. But Cool Matt will be subbing in. Very likely to play Diva.
What's his number, Hex?
I don't know.
It's right there on his
You can see it on the screen.
It's right there on his sleeve.
No,
Cool Matt.
he actually picked his name because he wanted it to be really infuriating when people died to him.
Yeah.
So if you die to a guy named Cool Matt 69, you're like, what is happening here? And so he's been playing the mental games of video games for a very long time. So when he first started playing, was just wrecking people on McCree, and it's got to just be rage-inducing.
Yeah. It's mental warfare, guys. That's what it's all about. Just get in their heads. That's half the battle.
Right.
You know, G.I. Joe. Let's go. That's old as sin, though, in terms of just mind games between the players.
Yeah.
You got players that have built their entire career on just mind games. James Too Good Hardy comes to mind. But there we go. Getting into it. It is Jake doing a lot of the talking. That is his role on the team right now, rallying them around himself.
And Houston needs to win these early maps because our 4th map is Route 66. Historically awful for the Houston Outlaws. So far this season, not a win on it yet either. So that has been one of their kryptonites. You know, the color of their jersey kind of kryptonite, and it's been killing them. So a good start on Control. Valiant continues to struggle there. I believe Valiant's only Control win this year is actually against New York. I'd have to double check on that. But they've lost every other Control map. Often going to round 3, and then, you know, even in the map 5s we get, it's another Control, so not great for them. And it's just been rough for the Valiant. I don't know what more to say about this Valiant team that you can't just look at the numbers and figure out. They're 0 for 6, looking to go 0 for 7.
Yeah, and they just seem adamant to stick to this 6-man roster that isn't getting results.
It's got to be their longest losing streak in the league. I can't remember last year of them losing 7 in a row.
No. They were always a mid-tier, you know, like mid to top.
Mid to top tier,
exactly,
yeah.
mid to top, you know, always a threat, Los Angeles Valiant, and this year has certainly not been the case. Numbani will be the next map coming up in this series. And so, I mean, it's on the Valiant now. I believe they will, as the away team, be starting on the offense, and the Houston Outlaws will be starting on the defense. And so now they've got to rally together and actually execute on this point. Point A, long run distance from spawn. You really have to be clean when you take it because you don't have as much time to work with.
They had a really cool plan on Numbani, did the Valiant the other day, where Fate would play Winston but not go with his team. He would flank around the far side of the point, jump up behind them, and try to be the anvil to the remaining Valiant hammer. A couple times it was scouted out, he got stunned, but they kept going back to it, and I actually thought it would start working, and it did eventually. Especially when you get Primal Rage, and you can jump up there and start beating people around, on the point, off the edge of Numbani. I'd imagine they want to run a similar style to that on the offense. Defense is as standard can be.
No, but they have Muma on Ryan instead of Winston.
Well, they're in spawn. Wait, no,
no,
yeah,
it's not.
No.
They're
No,
there. So
okay,
what's going on here on the defense?
But you play Reinhardt on this map pretty often here. Reinhardt variation of the 3-3.
Oh, this is big. I mean, Cool Matt's still going to be able to get out of there, but that's some old charge for space that he got for free, so he'll be ahead of the game in terms of getting up to that self-destruct.
Okay, Fate is on the Rhine, so they're not going to go for the Winston strategy as described earlier. I think they're just going to try to barrel everybody through the front door.
I'm wondering if this is some tech that they figured out, right? That the Valiant, you know, they're going to be running Ryan, so they decide to match it. They're not worrying about Winston. But exactly, there it is. Winston comes into play because you have that verticality on this first point. Huh.
Yeah, it takes them some time to get back, but, you know, go in with your proper composition. And now they're just going to walk right up Broad Street, little bubble, and Fate decided if he was going to commit or not.
It's nice to back off.
Raucus gets very low.
I mean, you just see a lot of the fighting happening on that first balcony there. That first choke point, Winston's there cleaving everybody. We've seen Winston's get up to 50% within the first, like, 2 seconds of a fight. It's bonkers.
Now the question, they're just going to put pressure on the point. They decide not to go in the full rotation. Fate's going to jump in over top, all alone. He's putting a lot of pressure on, has to drop down.
Cool Matt in the back line right now, just making sure that he can contest on this point. Darts back to safety. And they're doing a good job right now, Houston Outlaws, of hanging out here, although Cool Matt going to get overwhelmed. No self-destruct available for him to just get a fresh mech, so he's going to have to survive a while longer. And this sets up the Valiant now to start making some serious progress. First tick picked up on the point.
Yeah, Transcendence comes out early for both sides. They try to pick it up. The Graviton's going to come in from Spree, and it should be nothing but the cleanup here for Houston. They got Space really far back. Space is in his own dimension. He might just be trying to find a reset somewhere else. But they had Space cornered early in that fight, and they chose not to pick him up, which was interesting. It does cost him 1 tick, but the Valiant are able to hold this first point.
Yeah, Spree's doing a good job of charging his grab as well, so you know, throwing it out at the end, it's pretty much just like the period at the end of the phrase. It's over, it's done. We're going to move on to the next fight, and he's going to start charging up that ult again pretty quickly here.
Muma's got shattered. Fate is nowhere near it again, so that could be a big difference here if they can try to crack that shield. Both teams going to rally and smash faces.
Yep, smash right into each other. Shields clash. Muma going for a ride. Runs into agilities, and they're dropping low on the Outlaw side. Great damage getting poured on here by the Valiant. Muma's gone, but Izayaki as well. No Discord Orb is going to make it more difficult for the Valiant to find follow-up kills, but they do get a second tick, and now it's on the Outlaws here to get into this fight.
They're going to ultra commit to Sound Barrier comes down. Fate looks for the slam, unable to get there. Now the Transcendence is going to fade while they're in the Graviton Surge.
Oh, excellent play, though. We have that delayed Sound Barrier that comes through, and that's shutting the door on the Valiant. Despite their best efforts on the Valiant side, good ult management there from the Outlaws means that they're relegated back to spawn. They only have a minute on the clock.
That's about one push when it comes to Numbani. These buses here usually are to transport people from spawn to the point, but they broke down. It's a long walk to get in your offensive position to try to take this point. So it's the last best chance for the Valiant to complete point A.
Because it's like, what do you do when they break down? If they have no wheels. I mean, if they had wheels, maybe you could push them, you know, and then you could actually maybe do something about it. But instead, no, they're just sitting there, hunks of metal. Useless. Man, that's infuriating.
I look forward to your thesis on future tech. All right, as they roll in up top, this is the last chance for the Valiant. They do have Transcendence, but not much else. Fate's got his slam up, and that's a huge first kill. Jake dies so often. First on Brigida in these team fights. Highest in the league, I believe, dying first on Brigida in the league.
Yeah, exactly. Jake just getting picked off far too often, and that's going to lead to the rest of the team crumbling around him. Houston Outlaws, they were looking good, but it's going to be the Los Angeles Valiant capping the point with 15 seconds on the clock. They get a boost. They're up to 2 minutes 40 now. But the Houston Outlaws, it's a bit of a shame that it looked like they could have held.
Yeah, and they did it without having to use anything. That's how important the Brigida first kill can be. So we'll see where the defense wants to set up. Usually it's around this first corner, but you want to wait for everybody to get there. Nice aggressive push here by the Valiant.
And Outlaws trying to take up an aggressive position of their own, looking for an angle around the side. It's already around the bend, though, the payload. And they're just going to rally straight into this fight. Rally on rally. Both teams getting the beefy armor. The shatter goes through. Doesn't connect, though. And it's going to be the counter shatter. Now this is our follow-up. Yes, we have it falling together like dominoes. Izayaki now with the trance to cancel it out. Self-destruct, though. Perfectly timed. Going to blow up Izayaki. No longer invincible. And that's a one fight here for the Houston Outlaws.
Able to displace Fate there. When the smoke clears, it's only going to be one ultimate up on each side.
And they cancel each other out as well. If Kareev is like, oh, we're going to just grab. Well, then Raucus has got the trance to cancel. So unless you can eliminate Raucus, there is an answer to the grab.
Right, so Raucus needs to play a little more passive here. He's gotten picked off in some strange instances as the league has gone on. But right now, it's all about staying alive and holding your cue. Jake goes down first.
Jake again goes down. Really regrettable. It's going to make it tough here for his team. Spree, because of that, gets cut off. Boink will find Kareev, so we have a trade on the Zarya's. Shatter just thrown out there by Muma. Unfortunately, doesn't connect with anybody. And it's not looking like the Valiants are going to have to use anything. Raucus decides to use his trance, so they're really going for this. Hail Mary play coming in here from the Houston Outlaws. Fate gets overwhelmed, but they're really just throwing everything into this fight here on the Outlaw side, buying valuable time. Less than a minute on the clock for the Valiant. Every second matters.
It buys time, but this will get cleaned up eventually. Boink will fall, Matt will fall as well. And just to hit home the numbers on Jake dying first, he's got a league worst rate of first death in team fights as Brigida at 15%. Houston have won exactly how many team fights of that, similar?
None.
Yes. Yep, big zero. Big old 0 team fights won when Jake dies first on Brigida.
So
the trend continues.
Put this guy in the back line and just unbind his W, right? You know, it's like, no, you just stay there.
Well, one more fight incoming as Valiant nearing the second checkpoint.
Yeah, sound barrier used, as well as Grab will eventually find a couple of targets. Not fully charged up, though. And we will have a couple of kills going the Valiant's way, and that is going to be a very solid offense here for the Valiants, holding on to the ults as well on Fate and Izayaki. And now Houston Outlaws, well, they've given up the second point. Only a minute and a half left on the clock, though, for the Valiant. I mean, they're giving ground, Houston Outlaws, but they're really making Valiant work for it. So not a whole lot of time in the bank.
Really nice chase there to make sure that Matt ends up dying towards the tail end of that fight. Now, ultimates seem to be in favor right now of Houston as everyone's nearing getting there except for Boink. Fate's got to start hitting these shatters. He's not gotten a whole lot out of it. There's a big one, 3 on the ground.
Yeah, big stuns going through. Houston Outlaws going to get wiped out on this fight. Cool Mat finds Izayaki, but that's just fine. No problem there. And now Valiant gonna make some real progress here towards the third point. This is gonna put Houston with their backs to the wall. They will respawn altogether. They have ults online now that they can use. Grav, they could go for the Grav self-destruct combo.
Well, they're going to play this a little bit passive because they're trying to ferry back their support. So now it's time to go. Now the Lucio service has arrived with Izayaki in tow. Izayaki still holding on to Transcendence. Going to be really important. First freeze grab. There's the grab.
Oh, there's the grab. Thrown out. Trance is there from Izayaki. One after the other, they follow. The self-destruct thrown over the top, finds no targets. And the Shatter will lay Agilities out. There's the focus coming through. Jake as well chiming in, and that's a big kill here for the Outlaws.
They think they have time to back up.
Dude, are they correct in that
It's
assumption?
15 seconds, but in the retreat, you walk slower going backwards. They clean up bait. They clean up space. They're not even going to kill him.
Space. Yeah, that's perfect.
And now it's desperation for the Valiant to finish this. I think they should have just gone forward. Maybe they'll get there. Bubble on Lucio touches.
Yeah, Cookie, he touches it, so there we go, into the overtime. And now it's about just taking this fight, trying to get around the corner. Agility's getting focused, though, and a great stun combo onto Cookie. No Lucio now in the fight for the Valiant. That's certainly not going to help things. Space goes down before he can get a mech. And well, there's a Shatter thrown out by Fate, but no possible follow-up. I mean, Jake is going to go down, but there is still a huge edge here for the Houston Outlaws unless they throw this away somehow. We're getting a bunch of kills on the board for the Valiant.
I can't believe they brought this back, and they're fighting in full force. Now Cookie is back. They should be able to get here. Izayaki just on the cleanup crew. A rally to try to speed out.
And there you have it. What in blazes? Valiant able to turn it around at the very bitter end. And all 3 points here for the Valiant. Well, okay then. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll see if the Houston Outlaws are capable of the same. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. We're gonna get into the game. And now, straight into it, we've got a replay here of Izayaki. Strong performance from him, essentially, well, made it all happen here for the Valiant, just getting all the kills when this team needed it. This is it, the heroic display. And well, I mean, it was the same thing, same story on Control as well. First map of this series, Izayaki already kicking it off with kills.
It's been a bright spot for him. I really didn't think that the Valiant should have been retreating there with 15 seconds left, because normally if you send your Lucio into touch, he's just going to get cleaned up immediately. Yeah. What happened there is that Houston let Cookie touch and then leave and then touch again. So when the Lucio comes in just in desperation, you have to secure that kill. Because I thought, you lost one, so go forward. The best you're going to have is going, you know, fighting 5v6 anyway. Houston let him off the hook.
Houston. Time to get it together. Jake doing a lot of talking right now. Raucus as well. Trying to coordinate. They will go for a wrap onto the low ground. Muma on the Shatter monster is certainly going to help things. On the Reinhardt, that is.
Full rotation all the way around. Izayaki a little bit low. Got to heal him up. Know where your bread is buttered. Meanwhile, while those resources go to Izayaki, space gets desperately low. Has to go pick up a pack. First kill on Jake. Let's see if they can break their winless record of when Jake dies first in team fights.
Hey, Hex, you know what the answer is? No! Get out!
Dad?
Valiant, man, Valiant. They brought out the belt, Hex. They brought out the belt.
I always choose the wrench. All right. Fate has Earth Shatter ready to go. Agilities with a rally ready to go. A full and clean team fight win for the Valiant puts them in great economic position as far as their ultimate abilities are concerned. Houston going to try a different strategy now. Not going to walk up Roger. Going to try to rock the stairs, but Valiant are in position for this. They're ready.
They are ready indeed on the high ground. Fate, you can see the shields in position. And then Fate's just like, guys, okay, he isn't alone. Cookie's there. Kareev as well.
All right, so right up Broad Street again. Fate will drop down.
It's the dance of all dances.
Back around the other side.
And they're trying to make them think that they're going back up to the high ground here. Houston Outlaws trying to get clever. Instead, they're going to go straight onto the point, hoping to catch somebody out of position. There was a stun used on Fate, but no follow-up, so no kill. Raucus with the trance out in the open. Izayaki properly delays his, so his team will have a little bit of an edge in this fight in terms of healing.
Now these grabs are going to get very interesting here. A huge shatter against the grab, but he gets pushed out. Kookie goes down as the shield negated. Self-destruct finds Vader.
Oh, the focus was great there. We're getting all the follow-up. Raucus hanging on. Barely in this fight. The rally used by Jake. They will succeed, it looks like. Space having to fly back to the rest of his team. 2 players survive for the Houston Outlaws. That is it.
I wonder if they have anyone in position
They can
to try
contest
to contest
this. They better contest this. Get up there, Fate.
Yeah, they're
Come
coming
on,
around.
Fate.
They're coming around. They know that they have the numbers here. They have the respawn advantage. Have to get the supports in here, though. Space is all alone, and he's out of mech.
Yeah, they did a great job of pushing Fate back. Fate dropped so low, he had to try and back off, and that left Space vulnerable. And now we're going to get a great fight coming through here for the Houston Outlaws. From Coolmat's perspective, he gets to go for a wild ride. And Izayaki is eventually going to fall. Boink to get the final blow there.
Agility's almost clutched that fight. He saved Izayaki once with an emergency pack, and now they're still going to throw everything into it. The kills keep on coming for the Valiant, and Izayaki died early, but he's got Transcendence for the next fight. A great re-contestion by the Los Angeles Valiant.
Yeah.
And Agilities did so much work there on his healing, keeping his fellow supports alive. Really good pack usage there late, kept Izayaki alive longer, even though he died eventually, but now he's got Transcendence because he stayed alive and dealt damage.
Balanced out by Raucus. We may get the Zoom Yadas to kick things off here. We don't have the rallies just yet. Agility's just used his. Jake gearing his, and once again the focus fire onto Jake. He nearly drops, but a big shatter gets thrown out. Everybody taking a quick nap. Now back into the action. And it will be the rally used by Jake. Managed to get that online, so his team going to get a bit beefier. Definitely want to get some of that armor on Raucus.
Kookie was dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight. He gets sent back to spawn for it. Kareev down, Space down, Fate down.
And the wipe. This time there is no contest possible for the Valiant. Everybody sent back to spawn, and they will succeed. Houston Outlaws, pretty much exactly the same timeline as Valiant.
Kookie was just dancing around. He was right behind Fate's shield and chose to get on the wall, I believe, over it. Took a lot of damage, and the fire strike went through Fate's shield and took him out afterwards, but...
So to say, what's so shocking about that? I mean, that's what Lucio's are all about.
Yeah, but when there's a
Up
shield in front of you and the rest of the team shooting at you.
They're vandals, you know, they're just leaving skid marks all over the walls and everything. Just, man, come on, Lucio.
All right, as we set up on the cart, it's going to be the Valiant trying to push them back and take this corner hold. You want to push them all the way back to spawn. Grab out.
Oh, there's the grab. Bubbles are here, though. Muma's got the shield as well. No follow-up possible. Big shatter, though. 3 nails. This could be it for the Houston Outlaws. Great focus fire onto Fate to kick things off. You lose Muma, but then you trade him for Kareev. You'll take that every day of the week. Houston Outlaws now, they've got an edge in this fight.
Now the rally comes out, but that is all alone. Agility's getting focused on the cart. Somehow stays alive with the rest of his team. He's getting orbs on him. And this one should have been over. Houston's not cleaning it up quickly enough, in my opinion, but here it comes.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the damage now from Street. He's fully charged up. Angry Hornets now. And that is going to be a one fight for Houston. And you're right, it did take a bit longer, but they will succeed. Minute and 20 seconds on the clock now. And there is going to be a chance here for the Valiant to contest once again before the second point.
I'm just worrying about Houston's focus right now, especially focus fire and target calling, because it's what happened on their defense on Numbani, and also there you should have been able to clean up Agilities easily.
Nearly there. A meter away from the point. This is a must-win fight now for the Valiant. Sound barrier gets thrown in on both sides. Everybody is a bit beefier. Muma hanging in there. And now there's the grab. Do we have the follow-up? Self-destruct. Chucked high, it looked like, for a moment there, unless I'm mistaken. No, it was just Coolmat flying around.
It is the juke. He didn't have self-destruct ready just yet, but now the counter Transcendence. They try to clean up. Everybody is all over the place on this one.
this is
high ground for
chaos.
Spree. This is a bad position to be in against opposing Zarya.
He just gets to beam him
Not
down.
even using his keyboard.
He's just beaming him down. He doesn't even need to move. It's all about that aim, and they will succeed in finding the second point here on the Outlaws side. Minute 55 on the clock, and Spree just looking exactly. Rain in death and destruction. He's fully charged, man.
My ultimate is charging.
Spree has been doing some work here. He is their Zarya specialist.
There you go, up to 100 again. Come and fight this guy. He's gonna be like a, well, I was gonna say a wrecking ball, but we already have one of those. He's gonna ruin your day. Jake with the rally to initiate, to kick things off. Spree, there it is, hitting in the corner. Manages to get the grab down. He is gonna be taken, no not, he gets eaten. That's no good, but they will get the follow-up play from Coolman. 2 big kills here. Traded versus Spree, and we lose Muma as well. And without Spree, they're gonna be lacking the damage on the Outlaws side.
Yeah, Spree is responsible for 25% of their team damage. So losing him means you're not really gonna be able to kill anybody. On the other side of things, the damage is spread out much more equally. Izayaki, Fate, and Kareev all about the same number.
That was such a big D-Matrix there to get that grab as well. Totally thought it went off. Clever positioning, but not quite able to hide it.
50 seconds, nearing what could be a final fight here. Izayaki in good shape. A lot of ultimates now coming online for the Valiants. Only Muma nearing Shatter and a couple support ults for Houston.
Yeah, we'll have that sound barrier. Boink has been very good about using it at the appropriate time, mirrored by Kuki on the other side. So the advantage is here for the Valiant. Now it's about them just working together, getting some of that coordination down. Muma trying to bait the Shatter. Fate kind of playing the same game.
Yeah, they're going to give up as much ground as they feel they need to. They only need to win one fight.
And this is great for Fate. He's like, yeah, I'm taking damage, but my supports are getting all of the charge off of this. Now we've got all 3 support ultimates online here for the Valiant. Agility is going to decide now's the time to rally. We'll get a bubble on Fate to let him push forward. And now Jake, once again, Jake just dropping so low.
Spree got his grab time up. Kareev did now too. Let's see who can execute these combo plays.
It's just a standoff now. Who is going to flinch first? Who's going to make the big mistake that can cost it for their team? Jake gets the rally, keeping everybody up. This time the grab goes down. That's going to be bringing the Houston Outlaws through. Trance is used by Raucus, though, to keep him up, and the sound barrier as well. Going to get a bit more ground here. They're so close to the 3rd point. Izayaki has to use the Trance just to contest.
That's fine. Spree just launched his Graviton into a defense matrix's face, so now you're going to use the Transcendence without worry of retribution. Fate very low, still poking around. Gotta get some kills here. Everyone's getting so low and getting healed back up. The longest fight on Nubani.
Yeah, nobody's got any ults now. Who's going to get an ult first? Agilities has nearly got the rally. Imagine he's going to smash that as soon as that comes through. Very close. Yep, sure enough, gets the rally, uses it instantly, trying to make a difference here for his team. Somebody's got to win out.
Self-destruct comes up over the back, looking for something, not able to find it, but Jake takes down Agilities.
Oh, but then the grab comes through. Instant counter, Kuki with 2. And Fate's gonna get it as well. This might be it for the Valiant. A big win at the very end. We're into the overtime. And Outlaws, they're falling one after another. Raucus forced to use the Trance just to contest, but this is a 1 fight for the Valiant. They got it done, Hex.
It's millimeters. Izayaki got his Transcendence first. The rest of the Outlaws died before Raucus could get his there. The Valiant put themselves on the board.
What a fight. And eventually they do manage to win out. The Valiant finally finding some success here in this series. We're tied up 1-1 going into the halftime show.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
LA Valiant are trying to avoid a winless stage 1. And, well, they've got their work cut out for them after a very close final fight. They've tied up the series 1 apiece with the Outlaws at the half. Welcome back to the Blizzard Arena. We have an awesome crowd. It is a packed Saturday. Love seeing it. So many great games coming your way, and this one super tight. It's Puckett, we got Zoe, we've got Bren, and Bren is unhappy with how clean this game has been. Bren, why are you so upset right now?
Yeah, I've been moaning in the back, haven't I, about the state of this game. I'll get into it throughout the highlights, I think, because I do want to talk a little bit about the positives of these teams, starting with Link's driving on the Widowmaker in particular.
Jerry's back, baby.
He's been popping off. This is definitely a tailored strategy coming out from the Houston Outlaws. You can tell this. They're playing to their strengths a lot of the time. Valiant have read this very well. You can notice, actually, Izayaki playing the Ana as a result. They know this because they're not going to be running a Diva for the majority of this map. That's how they can get away with it here.
So many headshots from this guy, and so we saw a lot of this last season, but not a ton here in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, we're still waiting to bring those DPS comps back, but if you can do it on a map, it will be Busan. General control maps leave a little bit more space of creative team compositions, as we've seen from many of the teams. Dante had a great game also. A lot of fantastic EMPs were hit. And yeah, it was great to see Linkster back. He has the ability to flex from that Widowmaker onto the Zarya, so they can play it either way, whatever is needed. And yeah, he did fantastic on the Widowmaker.
Every 5th shot, a headshot.
Yeah,
pretty good
I'm
stuff.
gonna say, that's actually very impressive. Like, that is in the, again, the top percentile of a lot of Widowmaker players will be aiming for around 20% on their critical hit accuracy. Speaking from my experience, I can manage about 15 at my best day. So, like, that puts it into perspective.
Yourself,
that puts it into perspective, though, how good these players are on the stage. And the fact that Linkster is actually doing this now here today as well is key reasons as to why they managed to take the first map.
Now, we showed all highlights there from Houston for the first game, but that went to 3 rounds. Very tight game. The second game, just as tight, not as clean. Let's take a look back at some of the big blunders that we saw coming out of the Outlaws here, because they let LA back into this one.
I've got to call this out. I've got to call out the support usage coming out from the Outlaws here. I think they're going to be kicking themselves when they review this later on in the VOD reviews. It was honestly not great. Like, this sound barrier here as well. When I saw this, I had to clip it out. I had to select it because that's a case example. Why are they thinking that they can win that fight when they're only 3 up in that team fight pushing forward? They could save that sound barrier for a later fight, have another chance to try and win it out a little bit later on into the series. But instead, this was a reoccurring theme for me that I did spot, was this mismanaging of support ults coming out from Houston.
Yeah, I mean, that was the beginning of Numbani, really, was the story of misusage of support ults, or ults in general were very liberally used. However, I think towards the end, it was more of an issue of focus fire, not quite being on spot for Houston Outlaws. So I hope they clean it up in the next half.
Well, Brent, I have to ask you before we end this halftime, who walks away with this match? Are you going with Houston, or is it LA getting their first win?
I was so torn when we were predicting this match before we were going live today. I'm still torn now, honestly, moving forward. Like, I knew it was going to be close between these two teams. I'm still going to be sticking with Houston. Apologies to the LA crowd. I am going to be sticking with the Houston Outlaws still for this one. I feel like they should be able to fix their mistakes if they listen to me in this half.
Zoe, official prediction. Get it quick.
Well, still Houston. I'm not going to change.
Still Houston. Both going Outlaws. I think it's wings out today. I don't know why, but 0-7 is not the way they start the season. Guys, that's going to do it for our half. And while there is plenty of speculation on what will replace the current meta in the near future, a lot of people are saying that it's going to be the bunker comp. It's the next big thing, guys. And if that's true, you're going to want to step up your Orisa game. There's no one better to help you learn how to play Orisa than Muma from the Houston Outlaws. This is Game Set, sponsored by Omen by HP.
Muma's able to stay alive and get a lot of good damage.
Boomer, absolutely no mercy.
My name is Austin Muma Wilmot, and I play for the Houston Outlaws. Orisa, she's like a very stationary tank opposed to a Reinhardt. He's a little bit more mobile with his shield, but Orisa, she's a lot better just picking one space and controlling it. Here are my settings, mostly all default, all low graphics. I play on 75 render scale. Everything else is really as low as it can go. I play on 4.33 cents. My mouse is 2000 DPI, which is pretty high, but it's what I've always used. Here's my crosshair, just small, yellow. Play main tank, don't really have to aim. Most of my keybinds are all defaults, except I also have crouch bound to mouse wheel down, just so I can like spam it and make it harder to headshot me. My melee is also on my mouse 5, and yeah, the rest of it's default. When I'm playing Orisa and I'm trying to choose who to deal damage to, I usually want to aim for the people that are putting my team at the most risk. It's also kind of good to shoot at their squishy supports because you can use your hults. There are a lot of different unique combos that Orisa can do with her hult. The Roadhog, we can do some hook combos. You can also try to pull people high for your like snipers to headshot them. It's a really good combo with like Dragon Strike. Fortify is pretty good when you're still relatively healthy. So if you can fortify like earlier opposed to later, it's usually a lot better. Fortify is also very strong against Reinhardt because when you see him going for a charge, you can use your Fortify and stand in front of him. Shooting your shield vertically is a tactic that you can use when you know that you are going to be controlling this one specific space and you don't want to be moving much. The cooldown starts when the shield hits the ground, and then if you shoot another shield while the first shield is up, the cooldown starts when you press the button, but the first shield will stay until that one hits the ground, and then you see it hits the ground, and then I have 3 seconds left on the cooldown, and it just gives you like a lot of shield tempo, and it's really useful.
Welcome back, and what an admirable stash on the screen. There we go. We're back in the action, lads. And well, it's tied series, Hex, 1-1.
It is tied, and I kind of agree with Puckett here that this one might be going the Valiant's way, mostly because of our remaining maps. I mentioned it was going to be important for Houston to get on the board early here.
Yes.
But they're 0-2 on Volskaya.
Yes.
Next map is Volskaya. And if you're a Houston fan, you don't like the words Route 66 very much at all.
Tell
historically,
me why.
Well, they're 0-2 and historically just bad. Bad for them overall. Maybe Ben can give me the last year's stats, but it has been good this year. Dante will be coming in for Cool Matt as we go to Volskaya, so perhaps some Sombra play incoming. Volskaya is one of the maps that Sombra got very popular on.
Indeed, we saw that throughout last season. Here is the map set, and if you need pictures to go with words, right, you know, Volskaya, there you go. And Route 66 to follow as the 4th map. So you're right, Sombra, big plays. Dante, I mean, at this point, you got to do everything. You got to stack the deck in your favor if you're Houston. Any kind of edge you can find, you need if you've got such a terrible streak on these maps. But if you win fights using Dante and his EMPs, well, then just put him in, coach.
Yeah.
Just get him into that fight for the Houston Outlaws. At this point now, though, it really is a lot of pressure on the Valiant. They have to know these statistics. They have to know that the game favors them now in terms of winning this series. Now it's just about getting it done.
In the current meta, it's all about who makes less mistakes, and luckily for the Valiant that Houston simply just made a few more mistakes than they did. Valiant wasn't playing the cleanest, wasn't playing perfectly, but Houston was unable to slow them down on Numbani. Got a little bit of momentum here. And like I said, Valiant, the map pool favors them going forward. Might be able to get out of the stage with a win.
That would be big. It would also be disastrous for the Houston Outlaws because they are still in the running for the Stage 1 playoffs. It's tight, and they need to get this done clean. They need to win out now on the Houston side to really set themselves up. And obviously, it's kind of a Shanghai thing. You don't want to be the first team to lose to the Valiant this year.
Right. And I've actually talked to Houston during last season, and they said we prepped extra hard for Shanghai because we didn't want to be the first team to lose to Shanghai.
Yeah.
Valiant are not the same as Shanghai, but they are winless. You still never want to be the first team to lose to a winless team.
Exactly. Alarm bells are ringing. Dante just kind of playing around, chipping away. He's up to 60% already on his EMP, so that EMP is going to be online quick for this fight.
He's done a good job. Trying to take over this high ground. High ground's so important in all of Overwatch. Volskaya first, especially. Now they're just kind of poking, prodding away. Dante gets in there. Yeah, only Jake remains on the high ground now, so the rest of the Outlaws will fall.
Jake, why you got to do this? I mean, he's staying up there. If he gets focused, though, they could pounce him. Kuki's going to try and knock him off the high ground. That was so close. Kuki not perhaps expecting Dante to be up there still. He gets melted, and now we've got the EMP online. Sure enough, and guess what's going to happen? Boom! EMP, not before they lose rockets, but then the follow-up. It's brutal. Houston Outlaws. That could not have gone better.
Well, that's the 22% buff you get when you put Dante into the Outlaws lineup. Worked perfectly for it. They played super, super patient. And I think if you're the Valiant, you have to just push forward into this. But now you know they shouldn't have EMP. But you do know all the other ultimates should be coming online now. EMP charges a little bit faster, but Houston nearing Graviton. They've got support ultimates up. Muma's nearing Shatter, so still behind it.
Yeah, you'll notice that Fate has gone over to the Reinhardt as well, so he's way off that Shatter. We'll see when he gets that ultimate online if it will make all of the difference.
Nice
we
boop.
do have Izayaki, yeah, nice boop, but we have Izayaki with the trans online to counter out, the grab. So one follows the other. Muma gets focused. He's got to be careful, doesn't want to overextend. Looking for the support from his team, and he will be able to back off in time. Rally used by agilities to keep everybody up, and just no kills coming through here for the Houston Outlaws. They don't necessarily have the Wombo combo with the self-destructs anymore to work with it. Well, they don't, clearly, because Dante's on Sombra.
That's another Valiant rally timing that has been concerning me as it's gone on. The rally comes out during non-essential moments, and then the armor starts to decay. Usually most teams use that to initiate fights and to fight in, but Valiant have something different planned for it.
Good ground giving. Jake out in the open once again, waiting for his team to follow up with them, and it's looking like they will be there. But the grab gets thrown into the back line, and this is it, the time to shine, and they will find the kills on the side of the Valiant. Nothing there to stop the grab, and when you're fully charged up the way Kariv is, you're going to do so much damage.
That's a full cleanup right there. Now what you want to look at is going to be the micro matchup between Dante and Izayaki. Is Izayaki going to be the hide-and-go-seek champion, staying out of those EMPs, getting Transcendence for his team to win, or does he get caught up in them? Dante 85% will have an EMP for this next fight. He's going to be out here looking for targets early on just to charge it up, but even the passive charge would have got him there.
Well, let's go for a ride. Aw. See, that would have been fun. That would have been cool.
I mean, you can do it, but everybody's got to go with you.
Woo!
What's up, Lucio? Lucio, beat of his own drum.
There you go. Get buried in.
Love it.
Perfect. And then we're into the back line. But Houston Outlaws, of course, they saw this. So they are prepared. They are ready. And we will have the self-destruct initiate thrown in along with the grab here on the side of Spree. Gonna get 2 kills, and just like that, it's a 1 fight for Houston. Actually getting the follow-up on the grabs this time.
The good thing is Houston didn't even need to use EMP there, so they're gonna have it for the next fight. I don't know if Dante was going for it and got taken down by Izayaki. He did die to Izayaki, but that's just gonna be a call you don't make anyway. Save the EMP.
Don't worry, he survived that. The screen didn't go blank. We didn't change away because the fire strike ate his face or whatever. Took a little bit of damage. That's it. Houston Outlaws, though, still willing to hold on the high ground and ready to rotate. And they're keeping eyes. They can see it. I mean, it's looking like the Valiant are kind of gathering up to do the same thing all over again.
I actually kind of like it because then you're not taking all this damage early on by just walking in when the other team has the high ground.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to make them fight on the point, and rather than taking chip damage from the high ground early on.
Look at Dante, though. Oh, he's in the perfect position. He could spot him out.
They found him.
They found him early, though, and they are going to be able to pick him off. He was looking so good for the EMP. Something must have held him up.
Now you got to fight quick. You got to fight clean and clean this up because the EMP will be coming back out, and you have to know it. Izayaki is going to look for kills, but also try to hide as much as possible. The rest of his team needs to put pressure on the point. They're going to get EMP'd here.
Where's Spree? Where's Spree? Spree is doing a lot of damage right now. And there it is, the EMP, but then Trance goes off in the nick of time. Perfect play here from Izayaki. They are going to survive this for now, at least on the Valiant side. Trance thrown in by Raucus, though, going to allow for the Houston Outlaws to survive. And once again, Spree gets his grab eaten. That's not going to help things here for the Outlaws. Valiant, though, can they get it done quick? They're on the very bitter edge. Last-second contest come through here from the Outlaws, but they're not going to survive, and they will give up the ghost. Outlaws, the defense gets cracked, and the Valiant pick up 2 points on Volskaya.
It's been a map that they've struggled with. The Outlaws going to try their hand at offense on the other side of the break.
Time to get back into the action, Hex. Houston right now on the back foot. They're down 0-2 on Volskaya. Space once again finding the target that he was looking for in terms of the D-Matrix. Boop, you can see it just disappear, get deleted from existence right there.
Space has been a bright spot for this team since he's been called up to the main roster in the middle of last year. He's been such an impactful player. I love his style play on D.Va because he goes after people and they're like, okay, he's out of it. But he does that so that you start throwing in grabs and you start using abilities like, oh no, 180, eaten. He's gotten a couple already today. He's been great. Izyaki's been great. They've been bright spots for this team. And now the Valiant looking to take a lead in this series. They finished Volskaya, now on defense.
And now threading their way through. Different angle of approach here for the Outlaws. Perhaps trying to get up onto the balcony. Fate gonna go ahead and challenge. He obviously wants to work on that primal. Nice stun though by Jake. Not gonna really let him get the cleave he was looking for.
He's been hacked as well, and now they're gonna try to collapse on him. He dropped his bubble. He's been stunned and deleted.
That's so big. What a great call. What a great play from Dante. It's looking like Space deciding to try and survive this. Instead of fully committing, he backs out. He needs to stay alive. Now they're down a man. They're down their tank. Fate is back, but he's got a long way to run. And they're just giving ground right now, Valiant. Doing the best they can here to hold on. Space gonna get D-Mac'd. Shot in the back.
But they got Spree. I wonder if they're gonna come back in because Winston is mobile. He's back into the mix. He's ready to go. A rally comes out for Houston.
And they get deleted immediately. Just hard. Fate does get caught, but that's not gonna help Houston. They succeeded picking up 2 ticks, and they will eventually get chased out of the first point. Interesting decision from Jake to rally there.
Now Spree is nearing his Graviton Surge. Space, 61% on his ultimate. See if he can eat up another one. He's been so good. Dante, that may have been a reset. Didn't see exactly what happened.
Yeah, it was a reset. He chucked himself off. I mean, he's going to have EMP for this next fight. We'll have Grav as well on the side of Spree.
Yeah, you can play it patient. Grav and EMP is a guaranteed team fight win. I think you EMP first and see if you can catch anybody out without using Grav, but then if things are still going bad, you grab.
Then you don't have to worry about D-Matrix. You just chuck it. So, I mean...
Izzyaki at 90% though, 92. He's getting there. Oh, and Dante had to bail out. So Izzyaki might be able to get there before the Grav EMP is up.
You got to give it the space. He's doing a great job of making life difficult for Dante.
He's been spike checking.
What
perfect.
A snipe!
This D.Va play has been sick onto Dante. He found him out. He's going the normal paths. He's been able to bully him out in a couple times.
Rally in, Spree the first one, and there's the focus fire coming in from the Valiant. Excellent work on their side. Not having to use anything apart from the rally.
I have no idea what to think of Agility's rallies, because sometimes they're perfect, like that one. Let's use it, let's clean up, let's make sure everybody gets some armor afterwards as well, and then sometimes they rally and then go back to spawn, or whatever they do with it. It's been so strange, so inconsistent. Still, though, the big ultimates online for Houston on their offense. Dante, Spree, Muama, Raucus, everybody's got there except Jake. But now the support ultimates have come online for the Valiant. It's all about this hide and go seek.
Yeah, this time Dante's sticking with the pack. So he'll be hanging out with the team. Looks like he'll be able to sneak his way past. Yep, sure enough. And now up onto the high ground, or decided Rap? We're keeping an eye on him because he has that EMP, the big AoE ult. Out in the open for him, not gonna have the speed. So he's just hanging out here waiting for the Valiant to commit. Sure enough, there it is. Gets the EMP off, but Easy was alive. Transcendence is there. Now it's about Houston Outlaws trading out, as we will have the Spree. Now the grab is there, but the sound barrier is up on Kuki's side to give his team a bit of HP to work with, and it's going to work out for him as well. Spree instantly focused down by the Valiant, and it doesn't look like the Outlaws are able to capitalize.
Space bombed it into the corner, made them in a really tough position. Everybody getting very low. They're going to take out Jake as well. Space, man, he's been one of my favorite players for like 3 years. So good. So good.
I know, he is a beast.
20 seconds left.
Man. This is it, Hex. This is it. Valiant could pick up their first win of stage 1. Houston Outlaws, they've got 10 seconds to get on that point, and they have to make their way through. I mean, it's a question of whether Dante can keep stealth or not, but the shots from Space, he's zoning him out. He might have actually got him.
The win condition is EMP Shatter here. They're close to it. Is Yaki with another Transcendence available?
Space is so good. Spots him out again. Dante has to translocate back out to spawn pretty much. There it is. The trans-initiate agilities with the instant kill on Jake. Muma's going to go down as well. They don't have anything to work with on the Outlaw side.
EMP was ready. They got 2 on the way back because the Transcendence was used earlier. They thought it was their win right there to use Transcendence before the EMP came out. Now they're getting punished for it.
Oh, they're still hanging in here. Backs to the wall. Struck over the top. And it was Boink! Somehow Boink goes down Spree as well. How are they turning this around? The Valiant making it happen at the very bitter end. Dante, he's going to translocate. He's going to be donezo here unless they can follow it up. Unbelievable. Houston Outlaws, another 2 kills somehow.
Wrecking Ball comes in. Agilities is on it, but he gets pushed off the points. Oh, now the hamster takes a dive into the drink.
This is unreal. How does this keep going back and forth? It's Numbani 3rd point all over again.
Yeah, these teams are evenly matched and evenly committed to throwing stuff into fights. All right, EMP ready. This is a huge snowball potential here because they saw a lot of the ultimates come out for the Valiant. Kuki's got to get to his sound barrier. He's got to stay alive. Sound barrier will get stripped off if it's EMP'd on, but you can use it after.
Oh, grab is used. No counter possible. They're getting melted. And
Holding.
Just like that. Perfectly done here by the Valiant. And now you've got sound barrier online for the next fight. Okay, Spree's got the grab, but Space was so prepared. As soon as that grab goes down, Space is just covering that whole area in his D matrix. He's like, you want to go for a counter? You want to go for it? I'm ready.
Still have their win condition up, though. It was a good job from Houston to not commit after that. They're like, oh, we got grab, just move on. Call it a day. They still have a decent time bank, although the time bank will be in favor of the Valiant if the Outlaws are able to take this point and we go to a second half.
Dante's actually in position this time, though. Managed to sneak his way into the backline without Space being able to take him out of stealth. So Dante could be able to get that big EMP off.
Space just disrupted their entire push by 1 boost. Now they have to reset and try to get back on the platform. Still looking for Dante.
Oh man, Dante could have all of them
he's
here.
chilling. You see him right there. Space was looking for him.
Does he catch him? Looks like it's possible. Yep, Space is definitely aware. Okay, they do manage to actually get onto this point now. There it is. Dante in the open. Goes for the EMP. Catches a whole bunch of them. Izayaki, though, evaded the hack. He does get it. He eats the shadow, though, but the sound barrier is there, and he gets focused down before he can even use the trance.
They had a good sound barrier, though, which kept them alive, and now that's a kill from Space. Takes down Dante. 5v5. Defender's advantage will come into effect, though. Izayaki's coming back.
Focus onto Jake once again. He somehow survives this, though. And from on high, Space just going to keep threatening them. Outlaws, they keep getting the setups by the looks of things, but they aren't able to clinch it.
Kuki's had an up and down season, but that was a great sound barrier there, and now he's already at 40%. It seems like he's starting to really get the hang of Lucio, which is so important in this 3-3. Of course, he was a former main tank player. It was going to take a bit.
Let's see. Now Boink trying to just create some space on high. Jake got to play careful. And now it's Muma just swinging away. Shatter into the back line. Raucus, all of the support there to keep him alive. And Muma's going to get bait. But now we have the self-destruct combo. No, not the self-destruct, but the grab is thrown in, and that's going to lead to 2 kills and a third as well. Muma gets overwhelmed. And we're down to a minute on the clock for Houston, and they don't even have a tick.
Had to use a bit there. Fate went really aggro with the charge onto his Shatter target. They were able to clean him up before that charge finished. But then it's good recognition by Houston, realizing everybody's low. We have to really commit to this. Otherwise, we just lost our main tank for nothing.
Space is on a 20-limb streak, by the way, as well.
Yeah, he doesn't really die, does he? EMP, Graviton, Shatter. Okay, let's just call it everything. Everything up for the Houston Outlaws going into this last fight, very likely. 45% or 45 seconds on the clock as they try to get in position. Fate trying to disrupt again.
Nice hack, gonna force him to take a little bit of a breather here. Kind of trading sides, but the EMP once again out into the open. 2 hacks this time though, and the focus fire isn't quite there for Houston.
But it's just to buy time. The self-destruct is to buy time. Kookie's got sound barrier! He didn't hit the ground!
Didn't hit the ground, doesn't go off. Instead, now it's gonna be the sound barrier used on Houston Outlaws side of things. We'll see if they're able to just win this clean now because they're still hanging in here. Kareem, but the bubble gonna survive a little while longer.
Wait,
and they get that first tick.
You can't take the ults with them.
Agilities now, he's doing a good job buying time. Kookie's gonna try and make his way out until the point. He gets stunned immediately. 2 ticks now. Soon gonna be a third. Is there anybody here to get in time? It's not gonna happen. Jake, the bouncer at the door, does not let him through. And we're tied up. We're tied up, Hex, 2-2.
Anybody's game in the battle of the green teams here today.
Now we're gonna take a quick break, guys, and when we come back, we will have, well, the continuation of this third map. We're gonna see, they're gonna change sides, they're gonna go again. All right, we're getting back into the action here. Valiant, because they have time in the bank, they will be on defense. The Houston Outlaws back on offense, and we're gonna get a look here. Replay from one of those fights. This was the key one, perhaps. Yeah.
He was so low. He was so low trying to get the sound barrier off. It just came up. Kookie second away, and perhaps that would have bought them the 3 seconds that would have pushed it into overtime, and would have made sure that the Valiant couldn't have lost this map. As it is, Houston 1 time to go. You have to believe that they're just going to try to farm up EMP and go with it. You only really have 1 good shot at this. 2, I guess, if you're super aggro, but it doesn't really work out all that well.
Not really with the big beef, no. Oh, wow, Valiant not holding back. They're just gonna go into 6. Cutting the team in half. Dante's been spotted. Instant headshot from Izayaki. He's gonna force him back. They've lost agilities on the side of the Valiant.
That's rough. That's a lot of healing, a lot of utility down. Now Sombra is not ever worried about being stunned. Kind of do whatever she wants. I mean, they're gonna fight this at some point. It's just a matter of when. Fate jumps in, 1v2 over in the backside, harassing Zarya. Kookie falls, though. This is tough.
This isn't happening. This is not happening as far as Valiant are concerned. Spree doing the damage. They're going to get 2 ticks worth of progress, and this is definitely a 1 point here for the Houston Outlaws. They have to hightail it over to the second point as quick as possible, but there's a chance to catch stragglers. Doesn't look like they were quite able to do it.
They've got 30 seconds, and now they're in a great position. Now they will definitely wait for EMP. You have to. You're at 86%. It should be up momentarily. The Valiant's going to try to push the issue.
Let's see. They do manage to get the backup in time. Rally used here by Jake, getting everybody beefed up. Fate in the back line, just trying to swing.
Izayaki's got Transcendence. This is the battle, the micro battle as it has to be. Dante's gonna EMP. Izayaki's hiding.
Yeah, he's not showing himself. He's way in the back corner. And there it is, sure enough. Trans instantly, as soon as he hears the EMP go off, Trans is there from Izayaki, trying to keep everybody up. He's gonna succeed at that for now. Grab gets thrown in, no follow-up, and we are just looking for a kill now. Who is going to falter first?
Spree's got Grab ready to go, but Spree falls before Grab can come out.
So big, the Discord orb making all the difference there. Able to take him out so quick. We're having a couple of kills getting traded back and forth, but it's the Houston Outlaws who are losing out here. Dante down, and this is gonna be the Valiant stabilizing. Not a single tick of progress here on the second point. That's gonna be it.
However, with a minute, you're kind of okay with that. You got first point, you almost got some progress on the second point, but I mean, a minute, if you fail your first fight, you just don't get anything.
You're done, exactly. That was remarkable stuff coming in from the Outlaws. A little bit of the brilliant show. Just not able to get it locked down on the end there. And once again, we're just seeing, you know, not quite the follow-up when you're seeing those big ults, well, the big ults, the fight-winning ults getting thrown in. It's kind of dragging on for both of these teams, but for now, it's the Valiant coming out ahead, and we are going to get to see now the Valiant with 3 minutes and 46 seconds in the bank. They got a lot of time to work with.
Have to take the first point. After that, it's going to be impossible for them to lose. A draw would be the worst case scenario for them, but even then, going to Route 66 next, you'll take a draw.
Because that's not pretty, as you pointed out earlier. It's not a pretty place for the Houston Outlaws. Not a joyful place. No. A lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of loss.
But you'd think it'd be like a home map, lore-wise. Yeah, you got the Outlaws. It reminds me a bit of West Texas out there. Route 66 goes through Texas. Like, come on.
It's true. It could be like Arizona or something.
I mean, although fair enough, Route 66 does end in Los Angeles, right at the Santa Monica Pier. So, Valiant home match as well. Goes far. Goes pretty far.
Is Santa Monica part of Los Angeles, though, really? Or is it just like its own little, like, offshoot?
Yeah, fair enough. Ends at the pier. All right, offense coming out. No surprises here. Bait on the Winston, a bit of an interesting wrinkle. This is what they ran on their first one, though, so you got to be able to control the high ground, and you need Winston to be able to do that.
This did not really work for them the first time around, though. They did eventually switch over to the Reinhardt.
Yeah.
So curious to see how long Fate decides to stay on this. That put him behind in the ult battle. Izayaki, nice heals. Spot healing coming in from Agilities, keeps him up. And Muma, there to drop, and there to cut them in half. He's trying, but the focus fire is so good. He's getting the bubble, but that's not going to be enough. Everybody there on the Valiant just collapsing on him.
Yeah, but Space got in a little bit of trouble. Houston trying to rotate back into the corner. They get caught in the corner. Izayaki, 2 kills.
Oh man, once again, Izayaki's just going on a tear. And there it is, so quick, so clean. 5 alive for the Valiant, and they're going to get the job done here on the first point. They are going to have so much time to work with.
Yeah, you rally in, and then Izayaki can hit Transcendence whenever you want. Fate should be able to get up to Primal, too, if they choose to stay on Winston. But they know that Dante didn't do much. Yep. So this is a great chance for them. I think Agilities is time to smash Q and rally in.
Yep, just go in there. You need 1 tick.
The longer this goes, the worse it's going to be for them.
That's it. There's the rally. Trying to get everybody in. Looking for the stun onto Muma. Dante gets spotted in the back line. Izayaki going to force him out. And now Izayaki's got the trance. He can hang out in the back. He knows that EMP is about to come online. So he's trying to play around these angles here, trying to hide himself. And sure enough, he's going to dodge it. Sure enough, Izayaki's got the trance. And once again, makes it happen for his team. What a madman.
Ruckus, a solo grab on a Kareev. I like it because now they're going to get a couple of kills. Primal Rage doesn't end up pulling off anything. And that's a hold for Houston.
Whoa. Despite all of that, I mean, with everybody apart from Izayaki, maybe there's a limit to what one Omnic can do.
Yes, there's definitely a limit there. Still plenty of time on the clock. Only 33% needed for the victory for the Los Angeles Valiant. Kareev has Graviton, so they're going to switch over to a Reinhardt as well, because if you can grab and swing the hammer through, you just saw some support ultimates come out. And Space has self-destruct ready to go as well. Decent spot here. Oh. The Valiant, oh my god!
Oh, there it is. There's the pick. Yep, Space just goes charging in. Now you've got an opening to work with. A little bit of a thorn in your side with Dante kind of poking at the edges, obviously trying to work his way up to that EMP.
Grab in.
There's the grab. Sound barrier used by Boink, trying to keep his team up. Space is low. Muma, though, is going to be the one to fall here. Jake is still alive, though, trying to contest on the point. Once again, they cannot back off for an instant here on the Houston side. EMP is in. Izayaki this time will not survive it. Still a couple of kills on the board here. The Houston Outlaws looking like they're going to stabilize somehow.
Just Kareev left there. The self-destruct was in the back corner, trying to get a couple. Unable to really clean it up, though. Now back to the drawing board. Good heals came in. Muma got off the Rhine onto the Hammonds. Now he's just trying to chase people down. I think he's going to go back to spawn very likely. It's just desperation time. Hammond very quick. Very good stall hero. And now we flip this script again. Spree has his grab, Kareev does not, but he did a good job of staying in that fight and getting some ultimates up. But again, we have Rally and Transcendence ready to go. So you can get in here, rally in here, as long as you catch the platform bus. There you go. All aboard.
All aboard. Miss Frizzle, where are we going today?
Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times.
Agilities now. He's got the rally. Is he gonna do it? There it is. All right, rally in. Let's see. Can they get the follow through? Monstrous amounts of damage getting dealt, and Dante somehow gets caught in the thick of it. Agility is gonna get smushed against the wall. Izayaki, not a whole lot that he can do, it seems.
Well, they've got them separated just a little bit, but unable to find kills. Good bubbles there on Muma, keeps him alive, and Houston completely cleans it up. Only 20 seconds left. We might be drawing out here on Full Sky.
Oh man, and then it's just, that's it. Then we're gonna go to the final map, Route 66, and it's all gonna play out there.
Yeah, Izayaki's gonna go to Moira just so that he can have the sustain. He just used Transcendence on that fight. Maybe gets an ultimate going and charges very fast, but outside the gates an EMP, and they're not even gonna touch it.
Oh, what a perfect EMP. Get out. Draw, that is it. We're still 1-1 here. And it's all going to get decided on the final map of this series, the fourth one that will be coming up next. It's Route 66, and we'll see who's going to come out ahead here. Will it be the Houston Outlaws or will it be the Los Angeles Valiant? We'll find out after the break.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Space Day. Wow, space. Space Day. Space Day.
Well, Spacey looks smiley right there. Were they just taking the mickey out of him? Or
No, in my opinion, every day is Space Day. He's been so consistent for this team. He's having himself a really good game. Happy guy. Always gets bombs, but like D.Va getting bombs, not really that big of a deal. I mean, eating ultimates is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Knocking people off high ground, staying alive, just getting kills, chasing them down, being where you're supposed to be at all times, so your team just doesn't have to worry about stuff.
That's the beauty of playing D.Va. That's why I play her. That's why I destroyed everybody, you know, in the match.
Every time.
You know, you just have so many tools in the toolbox, and Space right now really showing that he's got it memorized. He knows the layout of his toolbox. The hammer's right there where it's supposed to be, and he's dropping it, Hex.
If you're playing at home, you're never going to get credit for it, but a good D.Va does everything and no one even notices.
Yes, exactly.
Next map, Route 66. This one for all of the marbles. We're not going to go to a map 5. Whoever wins Route 66 will win the set. Let's take a look at how Houston's been on Route 66 thus far.
Well, you know, Houston have got one thing going for them. They drawed at least on Volskaya instead of losing and going 0-3. So, you know, they're halfway there.
That's a bad all-time record. 2-9 is not very good. They've just historically struggled on this map. Let's kick it off. They're on the offense first. An aggressive hold early here for the Los Angeles Valiant defense.
Interesting. Well, okay then. How's that playing out? Oh, right, yeah, they get to pick it, right. All right, let's get into it. Houston Outlaws on the offense. So let's see, what are they capable of? Brute 66. And Kareev. Just, you know, kind of chilling out up here. Wondering when the cart is going to roll by. This guy's thirsty.
Yeah, no surprise that they're going to run the Sombra here. It's worked out rather well for them in the season thus far. But now Los Angeles has been able to play around it really well. Izyaki's done a good job.
1-for-1 trade. We lose both Rhines.
It's way better for Houston, though. Look, their spawn's right there.
Exactly right. So now that's, you're going to see the Valiant start to give a little bit of ground without that shield to hide behind. They're vulnerable. They know it. And, well, who else knows it? Houston Outlaws. They're going to go ahead and get a good punish on Izayaki.
Yeah, just going to pick him off. Now they're going to retreat, but Izayaki out of the fight. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, they're going to send.
But is he Yaki?
He was he Yaki, more likely. He got killed really early.
It was yucky. That's all I'll say.
They're going to send the Lucio back to get him before they fight. This is really interesting that Kareev is out here all alone. Gets back to his team, gets healed up.
Just wants to get that energy, wants to do the damage, wants to bring the pain.
Dante nearing EMP, 95%. Charges so fast. Kuki got axed. Kuki will get healed up though.
But in the hands of a competent Sombra, man. There it is, EMP online. Can he find the targets? He's looking for the juicy. One's in the back line. Trent's gonna get used by Raucus, and there it is, a full hack party. Everybody silenced on the side of the Valiant. You're looking for the follow-up. You need another kill, and they are going to find it. There it is, all three, soon to be four. And the Houston Outlaws, thanks to Dante there. That is perfect. They will get the first point.
Such a powerful ultimate. He caught absolutely everybody in it. Now first checkpoint will be taken. It'll be interesting to see where the defense of the Valiant wants to set up. A lot of teams are taking fights right outside this gate. Sometimes you want to take the high ground, which is where they're right now. It does seem like they're going to acquiesce, give up some space here. Speaking of space, he's still looking for Dante.
He's always got his eye on him, right? Dante in the back line. Izayaki gets picked by Spree, though. That's not going to help things. No Discord, no damage, no fun. But there it is, the counter grab coming in, bringing them all up for the party. And Valiant, they're the ones coming out ahead in that fight. Nice, well, nice recovery on their point.
It's a recovery. They end up committing Sound Barrier to that, though, which may have been a little overuse of abilities, but it did guarantee that they won the fight. Dante's all the way back on third point, hacking packs, making sure his translocators got him in a safe spot. He will rejoin the team. 90% on EMP.
Yeah, once again, rally used by Jake. It's just hope, like, come on, fight me. And, well, everybody on Valiant, they're not having any of it.
No, you don't engage into another team that's rallying onto you. There's no point to do it. They're not even going to get that much progress here.
Yeah, nice contest game getting played here by Fate. Trent's going to be used immediately by Izayaki, but now that's going to be a great delay on the grab from Spree, looking for the follow-up, not going to get it. They lose Jake instead on the Outlaws, and Dante's out in the open as well.
That seems like they're getting pushed back just a little bit. I thought the EMP was going to come off on that and really commit to it. With how fast it's charging, there's the EMP, gets himself 3 into it.
Gets himself 3. Izayaki's still alive, though, and still bringing the pain. Fate dropping dangerously low, but he does get support from his team.
There's the grab and the counter there. Cleaned up completely. Team kill for the Los Angeles Valiant.
Wow.
I mean, after they used that grab, Dante was out of position. He wasn't ready to EMP early. And so that they got cleaned up there, and then the EMP comes in later without any kind of crowd control.
Without any follow-up.
They get nothing out of it. And now
I'm wondering about these decisions. These decisions on the Outlaw side. It's looking a little clunky here. Not really getting the benefit. And now from Izayaki's perspective, just looking for the volleys, looking for the headshots.
I mean, the 3-3 meta has led to so many spawn camps that I'd never seen before. Literally never happened before. Because you know the other team is not running flankers or anything to get behind you, ruin your day. So you can just sit right at the door, make them use ults just to have the ability to fight.
Oh, buddy. Spree getting dinked. Off into the distance you go. Fate not able to make it back. Nope. Still, I mean, this still favors the Valiant right now, and Outlaws are now cut up. Boink and Raucus, well, it looks like they're going to go ahead and give ground, because guess what's happening this whole time? The bit of the back cap, Dante just getting whatever he can out of that payload.
It's a little bit of value. Does not go too far, so it doesn't really change the positional nature of where you want to be fighting now. But now they're going to get it around the bend, so it will. Those few meters ended up making a difference.
The thing is that cost valuable time here for the Houston Outlaws. They're down to 1.5 minutes. Spree can put the grab into the wall right here. Do they have a follow-up or not? That's the question. I have to be wondering. He's a little low on energy still. Spots out Space, knows where that guy's playing from. Space always want to set the bait though, we'll see.
Got the high ground control here. Space up there, he's still probably just D-matrixing Spree. Spree might be a little gun shy, he's had a couple ultimates eaten today.
Yeah,
Dante's
exactly.
way out of this fight. There's the grab.
Yeah, hides it at his feet, literally. And guess what that does? It just brings an angry Rhine on top of him. Swings a hammer in his face, and what was that?
That was perfect for the Valiant, is what it was. You use one ultimate, you win a team fight completely. The other side of things, 6 ults online for the Houston Outlaws, going into what is very likely going to be the final fight. However, as long as the Valiant are smart and don't engage right here and use ultimates, they're gonna have 5 of their own. So, welcome to the Q Fiesta incoming.
Exactly.
No need to hold them. It's your last fight to push the cart.
Start cracking them open. Let's go. Houston Outlaws. There's the rally. Countered by the rally. Now let's get into the fight. What comes next? EMP. Big hacks, but Izayaki had the trance online. Gets stunned a little bit, but that's fine. He's involved. He doesn't care. Backs off into the grab we go. Now the follow-up. Do they have the focus fire? It looks like it. Houston Outlaws starting to get some kills. Still 2 ults to be used on the one side, but that's not going to matter in the end.
Yeah, they clean it up. Are able to get this second checkpoint. Team kill. Don't believe they're going to try to contest this. The spawns are just now coming in for everybody.
Shouldn't be able to make it back.
Trying to go through that.
time.
They're trying to go through that door is just a terrible idea.
Yeah, Dante getting a hack in the back line as well is just going to slow him down. This is going to be a second point picked up for the Houston Outlaws by the skin of their teeth. They get it done.
It does seem like now they want to come out there. They want to fight behind the cart.
We're going to go ahead and try and buy some time here. I mean, Fate, got to be careful. Somehow they do not get a kill on Fate. It's Izayaki getting a kill on Raucus instead. And Izayaki just going on a tear, headshot after headshot. The guy's relentless.
It has been so fun to watch for him. I like he's up there in stats across a lot of Zenyatas, but after this game today, he might be leapfrogging some of these elite Zenyatas we got in the Overwatch League. 53 seconds remain. A lot of ultimates online for both sides. Dante 77, this is the big EMP ultimate we've been talking about all game.
And look at this positioning again here. He knows that EMP isn't far off, so he's going to be trying to hide, trying to play these angles. Agilities, takes down Boink to kick things off in the fight. Only 30 seconds on the clock here for Houston Outlaws. You got to back off and die fast. You're only going to get one more shot at this, but then everybody's got ults again. This is nuts.
It's all about execution. Both these teams have struggled in combination execution throughout the entirety of the league. Valiant trying to finally pull off the big bomb combo if they can get it. EMP into this is going to be brutal. I would love to see the Valiant take the fight before this happens.
Look at all of them spread out right now on the Valiant side. You want an EMP? You're only going to catch a couple, and sure enough, only taking Fate. You need to get the kill on Fate. You need to do something here on the Houston Outlaws side. It's going to be grabs going down left and right, and sure enough, a couple kills go their way, but then Izayaki's going to take Muma out. We've lost Spree on the side of the Outlaws. A lot of damage out the window. Raucus, he's only late to the party because he didn't have his ult when this fight started.
Space got hacked. He's going to be taken out as well, so the cart will continue to push for the Houston Outlaws. Although what was once 12 ultimates is now 0 ultimates. We have reset into the most basic form of Overwatch.
They just use everything. No holding back. And so now we're going to get to see, can they swing hammers? Can they get ults online? Dante doing a good job of getting back up to the EMP. He might be the first. Although Izayaki isn't too far away.
Now they show they're able to hack Winston immediately. Now he's not able to pressure the cart down at all. Reeves up top, just beaming away, trying to get some kills. If Houston steps off this cart at all, they will end their push.
Good Creep couldn't be in a better spot.
This is great.
There it is. Just like that, they whittle him down, and this will be a successful hold for the Valiant. Denied the 3 points, the Houston Outlaws. Only 2 on the board for Houston, so it's just funny because we don't actually get to see that often, where both teams are actually just straight saving up for 6-6.
Yeah, that was. It's impossible to really tell what's even happening at some time. I mean, there's so many
much.
ults that come out. Yeah, too much happens. It's just about focus fire, target calling, and making sure that you're all on the same target for the damage.
I don't even think players know that who's coming out on top in this situation. It's like, did we win? Did we win? Yeah.
A Transcendence comes in, you have to switch targets immediately. Of like, oh, I can't fire at him anymore. What's the point? Let's try to find someone who's caught out. And you have to imagine the comms are just chaos too, because everyone thinks they've got someone isolated, or you're stuck in grab and you're calling for bubbles. It's a bit of a mess, but it's our mess.
We're owning it. It's our mess, Hex. We thrive in this mess. Ooh, that was... I'm digging the new music, guys. Good job. Good timing for the whip crack.
Dante only died once that round. Much more intelligent play. He had a rough couple rounds today on Sombra, but that one worked out really well. Getting ults at 136 apiece, though. That seems slow.
A little bit on the slow
I don't know what the league average is, though, but EMP just seems like an ult that's always there.
You have certain ones that just manage to farm, but this has been such a chaotic game that perhaps you're not getting the openings you're used to.
Right.
Not quite finding it.
Well, he's holding it a little longer too, so that can mess with your timings.
Boink, just getting the last pitch in before it's time to start the fight.
Valiant gonna try to win this one, win their first series of the Overwatch League 2019 season. Coming up.
Outlaws need to get it done though, because they're still in the running for the Stage 1 playoffs. All or nothing for both of these teams in the sense that the Valiants, it's honor on the line here.
You just got to get that 0 off the board so you can move on mentally.
Oh, buddy.
Oh,
space! Ejected. Get out. Solid hold for the Outlaws to kick things off. Kareev will find Jake, though.
That's good. Yeah, any trades you can get in this position are going to be good for you because Jake is now out of the mix. You're going to get respawns right here, right at the diner.
Yes.
And you can see Houston reacting to this by backing up, trying to get as much chip damage as they can. But they're going to fall back. You can't fight anymore.
Yeah, didn't do as good a job as the Valiant on the hold initially. Quite a bit of time on the clock here still for the Valiant to work with.
Dante already at 80%.
Oh, Raucus has got Trance as well. That was a sick volley. Okay, so we will have Trance. We should have the EMP, and they are grouped up once again. This time Izaki is not able to dodge it. Full hack all across the board, and this is going to be brutal. There it is. For once, Dante catches Izaki sleeping.
Yeah, I got a 5-man hack there. Back to the drawing board for the Valiant as they will try to regroup into spawn. Although you can breathe a little easier now, at least you know EMP's out. At least you know it got used.
You know the rest of it is on the way as well. Muma with the shatter. Spree's nearly got the grab. Kuki and Boink are pretty much neck and neck right now in terms of the sound barrier, though. So let's see. Fairly balanced as we go into it. Valiant straight onto the payload now. Not too worried about sticking together when they know that EMP isn't a threat. Spree has to work up to that grab. He's got to get it quick, and he's trying here. Nearly done it. That could be the big ult that's going to get thrown into the mix. That or Jake's rally to kick things off.
Now they might go in off a hack here. Dante's in a good position behind them. He's going to be able to get a single hack onto Kuki.
Yeah, there it is. Not able to find Izaki. Muma gets knocked off course, so he's not going to be able to pull him out, but we will have him trading rallies on both sides. Bit of a delay on Agility's side. There's the big stun, the shatter combo. Izaki, the focus is there, and he somehow survives. No, boy catches him in the end. Fist to the face, take a nap. Agility's has to back off, and on the Valiant side of things, they're sent back to spawn.
Everything thrown in there, too. Everything that they had available late. A Graviton comes in, no cleanup there. And now you have to be worried, because you can kind of expect an EMP at least every other fight. 72%, didn't have it last time, should have it this time. You're gonna have to look at Iziaki's positioning here to try to stay alive at least. He doesn't have Transcendence, but Zenyatta just melts when he gets EMP'd. All of his shields come off, he goes down to 50 HP. Kuki's got Sound Barrier though, so again, another small mini game between the Sombra and the Lucio.
Dude, Dante is so fast at charging up the EMPs now though. He's nearly got it online again. Looking for it, self-destruct, gonna go off, timing is there, yep. Does get the Sound Barrier, Raucus not gonna fall, instead it's Fate getting focused, and this is it, Houston Outlaws just crushing this push. Valiant hoping to get some value out of it, they do get the grab, but Dante, he wisely holds onto the EMP. I mean, this could be all about the EMP now. If Dante gets a monster EMP off, it's going to be so tough for the Valiant.
It'd be a completely different fight had they used it. You'd feel okay if you're Valiant. So they do both support ultimates incoming. Actually, all three as Agilities comes online as Rally. It might be time to just rally in. You're 30 seconds left, and a sustained fight in a 3-3 is going to take 30 seconds. All on the line for the Los Angeles Valiant here.
They're grouped up. Izaki trying to stay hidden. Not trying to show himself here. Dante out in the open, goes for the EMP. There it is. Trance is used by Izaki. Once again, he succeeds in dodging. So the follow-up here, buying time. They do get smashed. Space, however, is there, but Muma gets pinned in the diner, and that's not going to help. Or not at the diner, the gas station, but still, he's down, he's out. And there's a chance for the Valiant to battle through. Of course, the Houston Outlaws, they're stuck.
There's a nice sound barrier, too, to make sure that they were going to stay alive and healthy. Now some members falling a little bit low. Muma's coming back in. This one's not over yet.
They just can't seem to find Izaki. And now you've got Space Team X as well. Jake dies, so that's the CC out, but you're getting caught in the corner, and that's not going to be good. Spree's got so much energy now, he's just melting. And another EMP gets thrown in by Dante. Agility's already had the rally going, but he's going to die, and this is it. Overtime over, and Houston Outlaws. Houston Outlaws finding a win on Route 66 and crushing the hopes of the Valiant.
They have exercised their demons on Route 66 against a team that had to have that game. Winless now in Stage 1 of the Los Angeles Valiant. Houston's dreams of Stage 1 playoffs still alive. They've got Atlanta up next.
They're in the 7th circle, the 7th ring right now. See if it keeps getting worse for the Valiant, but Houston, they've succeeded today. It was a rough start, but they managed to get the job done. Space, man on your screen there, did everything he could, played out of his mind. But it wasn't enough today to find a win for his team.
Space, a good friend with a lot of these guys on Houston Outlaws. They all came up in the North American scene together on varying different teams and played against and with each other for a very long time. That is a rough stage for the Valiant, to say the least, but Houston, the brighter green shines brighter today.
Yeah, remarkable stuff on the Houston side in the end. Keeping it together on that last, or on the first point there of Route 66. Thought for a second it was going to slip through their fingers, but they managed to rally. They managed to keep it good together, and now we're going to go ahead and hand it over to Mika for an interview.
Thanks, guys. We got Dante here, the littlest outlaw, as I like to call you now. And give it up for Dante, everybody. There's a huge Outlaws crowd over there. They look nice in green and black. So you, as I mentioned, are the littlest outlaw. You're the newest rookie. You're the newest recruit here. And you've been playing pretty well, and you guys are in contention for the stage playoff. So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. We just need one more win, hopefully. I'm not sure how the map differential and stuff accounts into it, but it's looking pretty good for us. And it's unfortunate that we lost the first 2 matches because they were really close map 5s. And if we won those 2, then we'd be 5-1 right now, which would be insane. But unlucky.
That's how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Well, I talked to Flame during the half, and he said that you guys are pretty sure that your next match will be winnable. So how are you feeling going into it, and what's the preparation going up against the Atlanta Reign?
I'm feeling pretty good. We just won 2 matches in a row. We got to prepare for them because they've been really good, and they are a beatable team because I think any team is beatable this meta, except for maybe Nixel and Vancouver. They're looking pretty strong, but any team is beatable, so I think we can just prep our hardest and beat them.
Well, I like your confidence, and I loved seeing you play today, and I'm sure that they all did as well, so thank you so much, Dante. And that's all we have down here, sending up back to the casters.
Thank you, Mika. And I like his honesty as well. You know, it's that is the state of things. Excelsior still sitting at the top of the pack, as you guys can see in the standings, and the Titans right behind them. Those 2 teams are really the dominant force in this stage so far.
Well, I mean, it works out really well for the Outlaws that they have Reign next. You can shake up the standings so much when you beat teams that are ahead of you. You see the Outlaws jumped all the way up here, so that Atlanta Reign matchup going to be a very, very important one. And Nante's right, they lost the Define and Uprising battles very closely. New York, yeah, they lost 4-0, but that's New York. That happens.
New York.
But I think they found their strategy. Now it's just a matter of sticking with it. A lot of teams have been reticent to run Sombra as much as some others. It works. Obviously, it works. Houston's at their best when they run Sombra, when Dante's in the roster.
Oh, well, there you go. Speak of the devil, and speak of the MVP. Brought to you by Omen by HP. Dante, gonna be our man of the match. And a total beast at that. He excelled. As soon as it was a rough start because he was on Tracer in the first map. He really didn't get into that Sombra phase until later on in the series. But once he was there, man, he was just beasting.
Had a lot of deaths early on, and then he just really kind of got it together. It was totally fine. This EMP outside when it was only 5 seconds left, a complete shutdown, a big brain play to make sure that they don't even get in. And then he was just finding the correct targets. Izayaki did a great job of staying alive and out of most of these EMPs, but you're not going to be able to do it 100% of the time. Dante, I think, is the catalyst for this team, making them go. It's a big reason why they traded for him is, yes, we need a Tracer player, but I think we might be going into a Sombra meta. So great pickup for them, and he's been worthwhile. One of the greatest additions in the offseason.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, there you have it there, all the stats. Enemies hacked, I mean, a little bit, took him a little bit to kind of hit his stride getting those EMPs online, but towards the end there, I mean, it's just like an EMP every fight, and that's going to be so key. And that's really a big part of how the Houston Outlaws were able to win it. So, guys, this was only the first match of the day. Seoul Dynasty versus the Washington Justice will be coming up next on the stream, so don't go anywhere. We're taking a quick break, and we'll be getting into that.
Wait, throw it down. Let's go, guys. Let's go. I love you guys. Whoa.
Yo, in and out. Can I get a table of 6?
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.